Hello and welcome to WES Bologna Montagna, presented by Raspini for the second round of the season. The UCI E-Mountain Bike Cross-Country World Cup is in Bologna, Italy for the third time in its history. First ever time on this side of the Apennine in the commune of the Monghidoro. This weekend we include the WES E-Bike Fest with a great programme of activities for fans and riders of all levels and some special guests. Paddock ambience always great, and bike checks before the race starts. Italian stars Martino Frue and Andrea Garibo, the Swiss Natalie Schneider and Nicole Goldie, and Honduran Milton Ramos ready for the recce, which was held in wonderful weather conditions. Amazing scenery, great weather. Let's take a look then at the track layout for race number 1. The lap length 3.5 kilometres, each race consisting of 5 laps, total ascent 1,035 metres. MotoGP legend Danny Pedroso visited WES this time to test the racetrack with Kjell van den Boogaard.
Just looking forward to do a track preview and have the first experience with electric bikes and see how this amazing track is done here. So I will jump on soon and get some experience on bike.
Well, Danny has jumped in the saddle. Let's join him and see what the course looks like.
Joder, demasiada potencia. A lot of power.
A MotoGP legend impressed with the power. The track will be raced anti-clockwise on day 1 and clockwise on day 2.
And the finish line.
There is the finish line. We'll have the same start loop and the same start and finish each day. Sunshine for the morning's qualification race. Once we got underway, we saw the prompt comeback of Théo Charme, who was injured in the previous round at WES Monaco. But the best lap time was set by Jérôme Gillot of Lapierre and Nicole Goldie of Trek. The reigning world champions awarded pole position, powered by Raspini. Italian champion Anna Oberparleiter talking with Swiss champion Natalie Schneider. Let's take a look then at the starting grid top 10. It's Gillot in pole position, Italian champ Frue, and another Italian, Garibo, in third place. All smiles from Sophia Wiedenroth. For Garibo was on the podium at WES Bologna last year. And the weather drastically changing for this race. A very, very fast start. Through the whole shot, Gillot takes that, as well as Sophia Wiedenroth in the women's race. A very fast Gillot, followed by, just behind him, Garibo, Reef and Frue. In the women's race, Wiedenroth in first position ahead of Goldie of Trek. In the men's race, the world champion impressively improved his gap. The German from Specialized maintained the lead for 4 laps out of 5. Justine Tonzo, though, broke her chain on lap number 3. Gillot crossed the finish line in first place. Reef grabbed second place thanks to Garibo's technical problems on lap 4. In the women's race, Goldie just managed to overtake Wiedenroth in the last section of the track, her first victory in a WES race. Wiedenroth just debriefing with her team after race number 1. Let's take a look at the results of the women's race number 1. Nicole Goldie of Trek takes the victory ahead of Wiedenroth, with Anna Oberparleiter in third place.
was a really hard race, and it was really close at the end. And yeah, it made a lot of fun. Yeah, it was not easy to overtake on this course, but yeah, somehow it was possible, and yeah.
Here's the men's results. Jérôme Gillot of La Pierre Overvolt takes the victory, ahead of Joris Rief and Martino Fruet.
C'était une belle course, je me suis régalé sur ce parcours qui était vraiment e-bike.
Well, it was a great race. I really enjoyed this course, which was a proper e-bike track. Very technical, where to control speed in the lines wasn't easy. I had a little issue on the track, but I managed to fix it quite easily. I took the right line without losing speed. I really loved this fast track. Long descents, hard to climb. Really happy to win here in Bologna for the second round of the season. Yeah, and let's hope I can do the same tomorrow in race 2. Here's the women's podium for race number 1. Nicole Goldie up there on the top step. And as always, it's time for the bubbles. Here's the women's standings. It's looking tight, isn't it? Look at that. 1 point, stepping down all the way down to 4th place. Here's the men's podium of race 1. Gillot in his leader's jersey, with Rief of Bergstrom and Fruet in 3rd. They all reported that the track was absolutely superb today. Celebration as always. Here's the men's standings. Jérôme Gillot leads. That's quite a gap to 2nd place. 40 points to 2nd place, Hugo Pajon. Let's take a look then at race number 2. Same track as yesterday, but ridden this time in a clockwise direction, 3.5 kilometers in length. But completely different conditions on day number 2. A never-ending rainstorm during the night, mist in the morning, and a track covered in mud, forcing the riders to maybe make a different tyre choice. But that really didn't fix it. Consistent performance by Rob Meusen of Specialized, and a good debut for Ania Bocchini of Focarini. Really tough conditions for the riders, pushing hard to get a good spot on the grid. But Gillot again setting the fastest time, and Sunday's pole position powered by Raspini awarded to Jérôme Gillot and Sophia Wiedenroth. Let's take a look then at the top 10 starting grid. Jérôme Gillot at the top, but look at that by Wiedenroth in 7th place. The specialist and pole setter Jérôme Gillot having to race with sore ribs due to an accident in qualification. And pole position for the women, wrapped up against the cold, Sophia Wiedenroth. She's looked superb all weekend. Fast start. Italian legend Martino Fruet was fastest at the start and took the whole shot, followed by Gillot, Noel, Charm, and behind Van den Boogaard. The women's whole shot going to Justine Tonso, feeling comfortable in the mud, exactly like she did in Monaco. Gillot was fast enough to overtake Fruet in lap number 1. He took the lead, maintained it for the full distance, kept Charm behind, Loic Noel getting closer. Tonso managed to maintain the lead in the women's race, did it throughout the entire race and took the victory. Ismail Esteban grabbed an important 5th place in the men's race. Schneider also consistent, 2nd place ahead of Wiedenroth, completing the women's top 3. But an unstoppable Gillot took the race win and a double at the weekend. Let's take a look then at the women's results. Justine Tonso takes the win ahead of Natalie Schneider, with Wiedenroth in 3rd place.
The qualification was good. I felt great, and this afternoon was a hell of a race. The condition was again very hard and full of mud, and it's funny because I'm from the south of France, and it seems that I like very much the bad weather and bad conditions. But I'm happy, and it's a little revenge for my broken chain from yesterday, so I'm very happy.
A very happy Justine Tonso. Here's the men's results. Again, Jérôme Gillot right up there at the top of the leaderboard. He takes the win.
Ce matin, les qualifs, j'étais bien parti, j'ai fait une bonne montée.
Well, I started well in the morning's qualification race. I did well on the climb. Then in the descent, I don't know what happened. I had both my feet off the pedals. I hit the saddle and I think I did something to my ribs, not sure. I didn't check with an X-ray. It really hurts when I breathe. But on the other hand, I managed to stay on the bike for the entire race, putting not a foot on the ground, which helped. The other riders slipped and I managed to overtake them. So I set my pace, checking the time each lap to avoid going too fast and making any further mistakes. Well, I love this track. It was really good. Hope we'll race other tracks like it in the future.
Et voilà, donc j'espère qu'on aura plus de parcours comme ça.
The world champion was then diagnosed with 3 broken ribs. Incredible results. There's our podium this time in the women's race. Celebration as always. Here's the standings. Justine Tonso now at the top of the leaderboard, 6 points ahead of Natalie Schneider in second. This is our men's podium. Jérôme Gillot there, nursing those ribs, but again at the top of the leaderboard, but not sore enough to not throw some bubbles around. Jérôme Gillot now top of the leaderboard as always, 100 points ahead of Loic Noel, who was in second place this time after round number 2. The Magnetti Morelli Checkstar Power Lap was awarded to French teammates Tonso and Gillot for setting the fastest lap in race 2. So another great race weekend is over. We look forward to seeing the riders back on track for the 3rd round of the season at Chirard in France, 23rd, 24th of July. Bye for now.